All right. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today to your Executives Association's 3,000th, try and say that, 1,000th meeting of our association today. We have a special toast coming, but first we're going to do the pledge and the invocation. So let's start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our invocation this morning is by Ed Smoker, E.J. Smoker, and Associates.
I wasn't asked to give the invocation before the debates last night, but if I were, I'd probably read a scripture something like this. Do not judge others, and you will not be judged, for you will be treated as you treat others. The standard you use in judging others is the standard by which you will be judged. And why worry about the speck in your eye, in your friend's eye, when you have a log in your own? How can you think of saying to your friend, let me help you get rid of that speck in your eye, when you have a log in your eye that you can't get past? You hypocrites, first get rid of the log in your own eye, then you will see well enough to deal with the speck in your friend's. Lord, teach us to love one another even when we are unlovable. Teach us unconditional love the way you love us. We pray a blessing on the speakers this morning and this group. In your name, amen.
Celebrating our 60th year as an association and our 3,000th meeting as an association. I am passing the microphone to Mr. Ralph Marrinson, who also provided the champagne toast for you this morning, and so I'm passing the honor to him.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody, and would everyone rise with your glass? I would like to propose a toast to all the members who have gone before us and to all the members who are here today and to the future of the Executives Association. Hear, hear. Hear. 3,000th meeting. Thank you.
It's a drainer. Drink it all. So I'm Chip Lafferty at the head table, owner of Hill York Air Conditioning and Energy Solutions. Our speaker today, as you're aware now, is Ralph Marrinson with the Marrinson Group. Introducing him will be our own Dr. Michael Chisner. Good morning, Dr. Chisner. Executive Director Connie Finley and my assistant Audrey Enciso. All right, now we have a special privilege. Today's presentation and will be introduced by Dr. Michael Chisner from Broward Health. Take it away.
Good morning, Mr. President, fellow members of the Execs Association. It gives me great pleasure this morning to introduce to you my dear friend, Ralph Marrinson, known affectionately to family and friends as Uncle Ralph. From the start, you can't help but like this warm, gracious, gentle man with his easy smile and straightforward manner. Upon closer observation, you quickly discover that he's a deeply principled man, endowed with great wisdom and vision, strongly involved in his community, and dedicated to its welfare. A man of extraordinary character who exudes vitality that stimulates and inspires all who come in contact with him. Ralph Marrinson has demonstrated by personal example that with hard work, perseverance, and commitment to the time-honored American values of giving back, helping others, and treating people fairly, you can reach as far as your fondest hopes and dreams will take you. If I were to choose an individual who epitomizes the values and ideals of a leader and a role model, someone who we can truly respect and admire and want to emulate, it would be Ralph Marrinson. For being a true leader and role model takes much more than just knowledge and skill. It takes honesty, integrity, tenacity toward the pursuit of excellence, a deep sensitivity and compassion for one's fellow man, touched with a good, strong dose of optimism, humor, and wit. These are the qualities possessed by Ralph. Here in Broward County, Ralph Marrinson has devoted countless hours of his time and expertise for the benefit of others. Having served as chairman, president, and director of numerous boards and professional and civic organizations, including the Florida Board of Examiners of Nursing Home Administrators, the Broward Regional Health Planning Council, the Broward Center for the Blind, the Broward Regional Emergency Medical Service Council, the Broward College Foundation, the Broward Workshop, the Broward County Blood Center, the Boys and Girls Club of Broward County, the Performing Arts Center, the Florida Philharmonic Orchestra, the South Florida Regional Business Alliance, and past president of our very own Execs Association. Broward County is indeed a better place because of Ralph Marrinson. In recognition of his outstanding service to our community, Ralph has been the recipient of such prestigious honors and awards as the Sun Sentinel Excalibur Award for Business Leader of the Year in Broward County, Community Leader of the Year of the Broward Committee of 100, Entrepreneur of the Year, the Distinguished Citizen of the Year for the City of Fort Lauderdale, and the Entrepreneur Hall of Fame Award of Nova Southeastern University. You know, in life, it's not so much what you say, but what you do that counts. The best role models pass things along by example. For in spite of all the technological advances that have come along in recent years, nothing is as wonderful as the human heart, the human mind, and the human spirit when put to use in the service and the care of others. Ralph Marrinson has served us with dignity and distinction. He continues to do the right things the right way. You can tell that by all the faces of the residents in the facilities. There's a sense of family, a sense of belonging that everyone feels. After all, that is the gold standard of care. While some achieve success by what they know, and others by what they do, very few are like Ralph, who succeed by who and what they are. Blessed are those who can give without remembering and take without forgetting. Ralph Marrinson is a giver in a world where givers are rapidly diminishing. Ralph, although numerous honors and awards have come your way in abundance, without you realizing it, you have been honored time and time again by all whose lives you've touched and cared for, and who invariably speak so highly of you. Your leadership, devotion, and dedication has earned you the gratitude, appreciation, and respect of our entire community. And for this, I personally salute and applaud you. And now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you a man who I consider it a privilege to call my dear friend, a 50-year healthcare veteran, former delegate of the White House Conference on the Aging, and one of South Florida's most influential and highly respected visionaries and community leaders, the president and CEO of the company that owns and operates 2 skilled nursing rehab centers, Manor Pines and Manor Oaks, an independent living facility, Independence Hall, 2 assisted living facilities, Williamsburg Landing and Margate Manor, and an assisted living center in Cumberland Village of Aiken, South Carolina. I give you the one and only Uncle Ralph Marrinson.
I want to thank all the execs for all the support that you've given the company over the many, many years. I remember my first meeting when my sponsor was Gene Whidden, and it was at the Tower Club. And I was honored to join, and I've been honored to be a member all these years. Let me, a company is a lot of people, and a company is people. Let me reintroduce, with the right titles, I might add, a number of individuals that are here. I'm going to ask them to stand, but please hold your applause. Scott Lippman, the COO of our Skilled Nursing Division. No, hold your applause, please. Mike Raybold of the Assisted Living Division, COO. Barbara Perlman, Chief Financial Officer. Sue Lynch, Director of Food and Beverage. Julie Figueroa, my Administrative Assistant. And right arm, John Ahrens, Administrator of Manor Pines. Susan Lawson, Director of Nurses at Manor Pines. Janet Hansen, Administrator of Manor Oaks. Patty Lynch, Director of Nurses at Manor Oaks. Lori Musto, Administrator and Sparkplug of Independence Hall. Jennifer Oliver, the Administrator of Williamsburg Landing. And Gary Solomon, the Administrator of Margate Manor. And Darren Taylor, who's Head of Rehabilitation for our Skilled Division. And Rafael Camacho, who's on the back somewhere. Thank you all very much for all your years of service. Thank you. You know, there's been a lot of changes. About every decade or so, every industry probably goes through it, but we go through it also. And we're going through a major change right now in the healthcare delivery system. Part of it was Obamacare, part of it was just timing that things were going to be moving. But let me talk about one thing for a second, and then I'll get into the slides, and I'm going to try and get us on time. As you all know about the bubble, you know, we have the traditionals. I'm a traditional. Then we have the boomers, and then we have the millenniums, and then we have the X, the Y, the Z, and now the alphas. Well, if you were to draw it as a curve, the bubble is, the baby boomers turned 65 in 2013, okay? That bubble is coming up. It should peak about 2027, 28, somewhere in there, and then come down real quick, and then shoot right back up because the millenniums are a big group that's out, in fact, bigger than the traditionals and the boomers combined. The alphas, the X, the Y, and the Z, each of them are coming to the table with different viewpoints of the healthcare delivery system. So I can only say this, we are going to continue to see change. The economic pressure on healthcare will continue. The regulatory environment will probably continue, and it's a field day for the bureaucracy. And we will be there for the many years to come to try to stay on the leading edge, to try and anticipate the changes as they come forward, and then make sure that we do provide the services that are necessary for the residents that we serve. Now, I'm going to start the slide if I do this right. I'm not going to read every slide. I'm going to ask you to do the reading. I might highlight a couple words somewhere in there. But we provide independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing and rehabilitation, and respite care. Our locations are in Florida and Aiken, South Carolina. Everyone say it. Aiken, South Carolina. Okay. Independent living at Cumberland Village, both the apartments and the patio homes. And this is what independent living is. You all take the time to read it, please. There will be a short written examination later on. And this is what the folks there say about their own facility. And I think this is kind of interesting. We asked for the feedback from the field, and we were able to put this down in writing from them, and it exemplifies their feeling about the company. That's a picture of Cumberland Village, 35-acre in Aiken, South Carolina. The curved building is the main apartment building. The patio homes are around the outside. And up on the hill is the assisted living, and we have room for expansion of a skilled facility and an additional assisted living facility. That's the main entrance. We offer 4 patio home options, all with garages, 1, 2 bedroom, or actually 2 and 3 bedrooms. We also built a clubhouse, which is also contains a wellness center and a lot of activities both within the village as well as people within the community are using the recreation building. That's the lake we have there. It's actually named after my wife, Janine, and when we first built it. And the group up on top, these are the patio home folks. Now you talk about a fun group. They have cocktails every night. And they have golf carts. And they drive down to the dining room. Do not be on the road when that is happening. See if I can get this. Okay. We also do things off campus. That's actually steeplechase, which is coming up in a couple weeks. The fall, Aiken is the beginning and the end of the steeplechase season, and this is actually the fall one coming up. Assisted living, again, with activities of daily living and all the services that we provide. And there's Independence Hall, Williamsburg Landing, Margate Manor, and Cumberland Hills. We offer 1-bedroom studio and 2-bedroom apartments. And again, this is what the feedback comes. Lori will recognize most of that language. That's Independence Hall, the lobby. We offer courtesy transportation. You'll see the bus on the road all day long. We also do a lot of in-house activities. We have a theatrical group. We actually take it off campus also. And they do a major pageant in December, and there's all kinds of different entertainment. We also participate, thanks to Rini and Fleet Week. We host the officers and enlisted naval and military representatives to come for lunch. And this is a fun one. This is the senior prom. We match our seniors with the seniors from Cardinal Gibbons High School. And they have a ball. They have a prom. They all dress up, and I mean, they dance. And some of your kids have been participants in, and they just they just love it. We also make sure that they stay well. Activities. I can't mention who these two, under the HIPAA law, I cannot mention, but you might recognize the 2 men in the upper picture. And of course, we do pet therapy, and everyone enjoys that. Williamsburg Landing, again, the language, and it is on the water. That's Williamsburg Landing. And you'll see here, well, this is folks just enjoying the outside. There's only one thing wrong with this picture. He had the reel upside down. But it is fun to be indoors and outdoors. Cumberland Hills, up in Aiken, they actually vote on a lot of things within the community, the best this, the best that. And we've been very fortunate to receive these awards. And that's the Cumberland Hills, the dining room. Dining is very important. I can't tell you how important it is. Do not stand by the door going into the dining room when meal time is starting. You will get trampled. And why is it important? Because everyone wants to be there to catch up on the daily gossip. That's the living room at Cumberland Hills, and which is actually used. It's just not rooms, they're actually used. Talent. People that haven't done things in years either pick up new hobbies or embellish their existing hobbies. Margate Manor. This was a building that was originally built by Whitey Ford and Ralph Terry for Connie Stevens to sing out in Margate. It was taken over at one time by Baptist Village, John Knox, which you know as John Knox. We bought it from them years ago, and we have continued to expand that facility. And it's right on the lake. That's their dining room. Skilled nursing. We offer, and I'm going to take a moment, on orthopedic rehabilitation, stroke recovery, cardiac rehab, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and we have full-time respiratory therapy people on duty, rehab aides, restorative nursing service, and custodial care. We have Manor Pines Convalescent Center in Manor Oaks. And this is what is said about these facilities. Manor Pines, I opened that in 1966, July 25th, 1966. I was 26 years old and had hair. Rehab. There's Darren. Dining room. Again, we have indoor activities, outdoor activities. Manor Oaks on 26 on Commercial Boulevard. There's Darren again. Darren likes to get himself in pictures. Well, where's Darren? Okay. Okay. In recognition of HIPAA, you'll notice the medical record, we blanked out the name. So we are in compliance with HIPAA on that. That's their dining room and living room. In summary, we offer independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing care, and short-term physical rehabilitation. Now remember this, be kind to your kids. They're going to choose your nursing home. Thank you for your time. A company is known by the people it keeps. We look forward to seeing you at the open house Thursday night from 5:30 to 8 at Manor Pines on Northeast 26th Street. And thank you all very much. I'll take any questions. Anyone? Well, kind of interesting. I first got involved, it was a cute little redhead. I was a junior at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, and I was dating a cute little redhead. I got mononucleosis, and I was confined to the school infirmary. And while in bed, they gave me a magazine to read, and there was an article in there by the New York Life Insurance Company. It was doing career articles at that time, and it was on hospital administration. I became interested in it. I was not a student, trust me. I graduated high school. I was, in order to go to college, you had to be in the upper 2/3. I was 222 of 333. Okay. I went on to undergrad school, and then went through undergrad school. Went on to grad school at Xavier, Cincinnati. Received my master's in hospital administration. I did my residency at Weiss Memorial Hospital in Chicago, and then I went down to Woodlawn Hospital as the assistant director, and became interested in long-term care. A group was building Manor Pines. They had hired the wrong person. They asked me to come down and take a leave of absence from the hospital to open it, and I never went back. A year later, the facility was sold. A group from Palm Beach investors bought it with a proviso that I went with it, and I ultimately did an ESOP before an ESOP was an ESOP. So, and then we began to build and add on after that. Any other questions? That was interesting. I was on the board of H&R Block, Personnel Pool of America, and we were doing acquisitions in these small markets. And it was about the same time Wayne was doing the blockbuster build-up and on his way to buying the baseball team. So we did some research. We looked at 14 states, 45 different markets. Had to go out and look at them. And went to North Carolina first and didn't find what I wanted. Came back and was on the board of CNS Bank at the time. I told Gordon Oliver, I'm going up to this town, Aiken. I said, yeah, I see we have a bank there. And he said, you got a good friend there. He used to be a member of Execs, John Troutman. Some of you may remember John. I called John, and he said, you're going to love this place. So we jumped on an airplane, went up there, and Janine was alive then, and we drove into town. And we weren't 100 yards into town. And she said, this is our kind of town. I said, how can you say something like that? We're 100 feet into the town, and you say, this is our kind of town. She says, look, stupid. She used to call me stupid a lot. She said, look. I said, I'm looking. What am I supposed to see? She said, look. I said, what am I supposed to see? There's a monogram store. If there's a monogram store, there's money in the town. That's how we picked Aiken, South Carolina. Any other questions? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. Yes, yes. We provide multiple diagnoses. We do hospice services. We do Alzheimer's, all levels of care. Rehab, from short-term rehab to long-term to custodial care. So anything dealing with geriatrics, we do. Now, I must say this, that we're starting to see a younger population too, more rehab, and it's coming out of the hospitals in a completely different way than we used to see it. We're also seeing shorter stays of patients coming, and the word is we're going to be seeing patients coming literally directly off the operating table and into our facilities a lot quicker than we see them now. So that's one of the changes that's going on in the industry. Other questions? It's 8:30. I got you out.
Perfect timing.